Hey beauties! Gelila Bekele has come forward to expose filmmaker Tyler Perry, claiming he is worse than Diddy and is allegedly colluding with Oprah Winfrey to manipulate and compress the Black community for their own gain. Gelila Bekele's shocking revelation suggests a deep-seated concern about the actions of Tyler Perry, whom she accuses of being complicit in schemes that negatively impact the Black community. The mention of Tyler Perry being worse than Diddy implies a comparison to music mogul Diddy, who has faced scrutiny in the past. Gelila's decision to take a stand against Tyler Perry mirrors recent activism by others within the entertainment industry. The accusation of collaboration with Oprah Winfrey adds another layer of complexity to the unfolding drama. Gelila Bekele suggests that Perry and Winfrey, both influential figures in the industry, are allegedly using their power to compress and exploit the Black community. Those who don't know who Gelila Bekele is, Tyler Perry and Gelila Bekele started dating after meeting at a Prince concert in 2007. Shared on Instagram Wednesday, "I'm 51, single, and wondering what the next chapter in my life will look like." They started dating and sharing their life together. The duo welcomed a son, and Tyler, together in December 2014. "There's no other person on this planet that I would want to be involved with or have a child with because she's amazing." They both were happy together since Tyler started showing his true colors. Tyler Perry provokes controversy with his opinion on splitting the bills in relationships. "I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will." Tyler Perry has sparked controversy after a new interview in which he gave advice about splitting the bills in relationships. Appearing on the Keep It Positive Sweetie podcast, Perry shared his feelings about dividing household expenses and revealed that they don't have to be split down the middle. You guys can imagine how Tyler is taking relations into business with no feelings inside. And he also mentioned Black women are making a lot money than Black men, whereas he ganged up with Oprah and compressing Black community like Monique and other artists. He said, "I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than Black men."
A lot of women, especially Black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than Black men.
The prolific entertainer began. "If you can find love, if that man works at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, that is okay."
If you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay.
He continued, "As long as he's secure in himself to know that, yeah, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm gonna cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, that is fine."
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm gonna cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you handle the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
It's unclear what Perry was referring to when he announced Black women make more than Black men, as facts don't support that claim. While Black women earn far more bachelor's degrees than Black men, a July report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics on the weekly earnings of wage and salary workers found that Black women earned only 89.9%, as much as Black men. Black women represent the lowest wage gap between their male counterparts out of white, Hispanic, and Asian women. However, the Institute for Women's Policy Research says this is due to the comparatively low earnings of Black and Hispanic men, which are considerably less than the earnings of men overall. Now you all may got an idea of which type of person is Tyler Perry and why Gelila Bekele sues him. And for now, Tyler Perry is involved with Oprah in the case of Taraji P. Henson. That's where Monique joins forces with Gelila Bekele in exposing filmmaker Tyler Perry and media mogul Oprah Winfrey in connection to actress Taraji P. Henson. Monique, known for her unapologetic stance, has now taken a stand alongside Gelila Bekele in what appears to be a unified front against Perry and Winfrey. The collaboration suggests a growing movement within the industry to shed light on what they believe to be exploitative practices involving influential figures. The case of Taraji P. Henson takes center stage in this unfolding drama, with Monique and Gelila Bekele alleging that Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey are involved in actions that negatively impact Henson. The trio of women appears to be collectively challenging what they perceive as an abuse of power within Hollywood. It appears that Monique has something to say about Taraji P. Henson versus Oprah situation, and y'all better listen to Monique next time she speaks, because no one knows better than she does how shady Oprah can be.
I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, "I'm gonna have your mother," I would have said, "Shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is. Shut that down." That's one of the reasons why we don't communicate, because of my mother.
Taraji recently made waves by revealing she almost walked away from the new Color Purple remake, produced by Oprah, because they were trying to lowball her. Taraji had a moment on Oprah's bestie Gayle King's show, and she let it all out, saying she's thinking about ditching acting for good because she's straight up tired of always having to beg for what's fair.
It's still not mathing, and I'm really getting tired of black women having the same story. It's breaking my heart. Like 20 plus in the game, it breaks my heart. It's like every time you achieve something really incredible, it's almost like the industry looks at it as a fluke. Like, oh, that was like some one-time thing. So you fall back to the bottom, and you gotta negotiate and fight tooth and nail to get what you made the last time. When where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here? We are to service each other. God is very clever. He put us on this earth and he made us all look different. He made it complicated. We need to figure it out. And we can, and we are. You have to look at the glass as half full. It's always half full.
But Taraji is not the only one speaking out. Remember when Monique put Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels on blast for freezing her out? They labeled her difficult just because she said no to doing a movie tour without getting paid, and her career never fully recovered from that.
I got labeled as difficult, my husband and I. And my husband is Sydney, who happens to be my manager. We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. I said no to Oprah Winfrey. I said no to Tyler Perry, I said no to Lee Daniels, and I said no to Lionsgate. What I would have appreciated from my brother was had you picked up the phone before you went on the air and said, "Monique, you've burned too many bridges and there's nothing I can do." See, I would have appreciated had my brother called me up and said, "Baby, let's talk." Because you doing that was a part of me being difficult.
But now, before that though.
Yes, baby. Y'all know my husband did nothing wrong, but none of y'all in real time, was strong enough to go publicly and say, we can't throw our sister under the bus.
Fans are now saying Oprah owes Monique a huge apology, and they're shouting from the rooftops how Oprah, the richest black woman in the world, is not doing enough for black women in the industry who are still dealing with this pay mess. But how does Monique feel about this whole Taraji P situation? And how come Taraji was silent when Monique called out Oprah years ago? Let's get into it. In case you missed it, Oprah is catching flack once again after Taraji P. Henson spilled the tea about how she got treated unfairly in the paycheck department and almost walked away from the new Color Purple adaptation. This new remake of The Color Purple is a collaboration between Oprah's Harpo Films, Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment, SGS Pictures, and Quincy Jones Productions, the same companies behind the 1985 version where Oprah played the role of Sophia. Now, you'd think someone like Taraji, a veteran in the game for over 2 decades and an Oscar nominee, wouldn't have to beg for a fair paycheck, especially Taraji in a big movie like The Color Purple with Oprah backing it, but that's not what happened. According to Taraji, the first offer they gave her was straight up disrespectful, and they wouldn't budge until she threatened to leave the project. Taraji spilled the beans during a chat with Oprah's bestie, Gayle King, saying she's seriously considering quitting acting because she's fed up with this fight for fair pay. Taraji explained that Black actresses, even seasoned ones like her, still have to scrap for what's theirs every time they step onto a new set. Gayle looked shook and Taraji broke down in tears while talking about paving the way for the next generation of actresses. It's something that's been weighing on her for a while. But Taraji wasn't finished. In another recent interview, she revealed she was this close to walking away from The Color Purple because they were trying to toss her peanuts. The host tried giving props to Taraji for keeping the fire burning and reinventing herself in fresh projects. Still, Taraji didn't sugarcoat it, saying it's hard to keep that passion alive when you're getting shortchanged. Taraji also spilled that even for the big 2008 hit, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, she had to fight tooth and nail to get $500,000. Then, Taraji dished on The Color Purple, saying she almost walked away from Oprah's project because the offer they put on the table was humiliating. Taraji didn't drop Oprah's name directly, but she seemingly slid in a sly jab about women in power needing to step up and lift others up in the game. Even before this interview, fans noticed that Taraji wasn't in the mood while promoting The Color Purple. You could really read the vibes, especially if you paid attention to the body language between her and Oprah. When this blew up on social media, Taraji and Oprah both tried to do some damage control and shared posts praising each other. Still, the vibes were off, and these posts screamed, "The studio made us do it." Taraji isn't the first one to throw hints like this at Oprah, and she's probably playing it safe because we all know what went down with Monique. The Oprah and Monique beef ignited when Precious hit the screens, directed by Lee Daniels and produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry. Oprah and Tyler wanted to send Monique on an overseas press tour, but they didn't want to drop a dime and told her she'd have to do it for free. Monique turned down the offer, saying she'd rather spend that time with her family. By that point, Monique had already fulfilled all her contractual obligations for Precious, or they would have sued her for breach of contract. According to Monique, she and Oprah had a little chat and agreed to disagree. But next thing you know, the press labeled Monique as difficult and hard to work with. Oprah pulled an even shadier move that totally broke their work relationship. Before Precious was released, Monique opened up to Essence magazine about how her older brother Gerald assaulted her, and her parents didn't believe her when she reported it. Fast forward to 2010, Oprah decided to invite Gerald onto her show to talk about what he did to Monique. Before extending an invitation to Gerald, Oprah called Monique and tried to convince her to come along. Monique told Oprah she wasn't interested in going on a talk show with a person who victimized her. Monique was also left with the impression that Gerald would be the only guest, but when the show aired, she was shocked to see that Oprah also brought in Monique's parents, the same ones who brushed off her assault. Monique was crushed, tried hitting up Oprah, but it was like talking to a brick wall. Monique eventually crossed paths with Oprah at some Hollywood event. While Oprah swore up and down she had no clue Gerald would bring his parents, Monique smelled something fishy. Oprah then hit Monique with a classic "sorry if I offended you," but she never offered a sincere apology. In fact, Monique told The Hollywood Reporter earlier this year that she still thinks Oprah should apologize publicly. Monique also revealed in this interview that before she publicly accused Oprah and Tyler Perry of blackballing her, she was handpicked for major roles, including Oprah's part in The Butler and a role in the 2019 Richard Pryor biopic. Before the rift with Oprah, all these opportunities were on the table, and then, once the conflict went down, all the offers vanished. Monique told The Hollywood Reporter that Lee Daniels agreed with her that she was being blackballed. Still, when Monique asked him to explain why she was being blackballed, Daniels came back with, "because you didn't play the game." Now that Taraji is saying pretty much the same thing almost 15 years later, fans are saying Monique has been vindicated at last, and they believe she deserves that apology. But let's be real, Oprah and Tyler Perry will probably never apologize to Monique, and at this point, their apology isn't worth much. Anyway, now as for Taraji, word on the street is that Monique privately offered her support, and she apparently feels relieved that the public is finally seeing Oprah for who she is. But there's another side to all of this. While most fans are glad Taraji spoke out on this issue, a lot of them are saying Taraji also owes an apology to Monique. Back when Monique pointed pointed fingers at Oprah, Tyler, and Lee Daniels, and everyone accused her of being bitter and angry, Taraji didn't say anything. Some folks are speculating that Taraji stayed silent because she snagged the role of Cookie on Empire after Lee Daniels passed on Monique, so Taraji probably didn't want to get on his bad side, and understandably so. Someone said, when Monique was speaking out, Taraji was collecting that Empire check, so you know she wasn't going to stand with her against Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah. Now, she's on a press tour working for free on an Oprah production and crying about low pay. How ironic. Another comment read, Monique been saying the same Taraji has for years, and now y'all trying to act like this is new information. So y'all agreed with Monique but didn't like her enough to speak out loud. Taraji deserves, but I'm side-eyeing all the black actors. Let me know how you feel about all this. Why do you think people didn't show Monique the same support they're showing to Taraji? Comment down below and then check out this next story.